Have you ever been in a situation where you didn't know the answer? Well, you're not alone. We all have those moments where we're stumped, left scratching our heads. Today we're going to explore a dozen common phrases you can use when you're at a loss for words. Starting with, I have no idea or I have no clue. These phrases are pretty straightforward in their origin. They're simply expressing a lack of knowledge about a particular topic. For example, if someone asked you about the mechanics of quantum physics, you might respond with, I have no idea. Next we have, I haven't got a clue. This phrase hails from the United Kingdom and is another way of expressing that you're unsure. For instance, if asked about the latest trends in fashion, you might say, I haven't got a clue. Then there's I'm clueless on that one. This phrase is a more informal way of expressing ignorance about a subject. If a friend asked you about the rules of cricket, you might say, I'm clueless on that one. Beats me is an informal phrase that originated in American English. It's a casual way of saying you don't know something. For example, if someone asked you why it always rains after you wash your car, you could say, beats me. I can't help you there is a polite way of expressing that you don't have the information someone is seeking. For instance, if someone asked you for directions in a city you're unfamiliar with, you could say, I can't help you there. I'm drawing a blank is a phrase that comes from the mental image of a blank piece of paper, symbolizing a lack of ideas or knowledge. For example, if someone asked you the name of your first grade teacher and you couldn't remember, you might say, I'm drawing a blank. I'm not really sure is a softer, less definitive way of saying you don't know something. It suggests you might have some knowledge, but you're uncertain. If someone asked you if it was going to rain tomorrow, you might say, I'm not really sure. I'm at a loss is a phrase that conveys a sense of being overwhelmed by a lack of knowledge or understanding. For example, if someone asked you to solve a complex math problem, you might say, I'm at a loss. I'm in the dark about that is a phrase that comes from the metaphor of darkness representing ignorance. If someone asked you about the details of a news story you hadn't heard about, you might say, I'm in the dark about that. I've been wondering that too is a phrase that not only conveys your lack of knowledge, but also shows empathy with the person asking the question. For instance, if a co-worker asked you why the office printer is always jammed, you could say, I've been wondering that too. Your guess is as good as mine is a phrase that puts you and the person asking the question on equal footing, both of you lacking the answer. For example, if someone asked you why cats always land on their feet, you might say, your guess is as good as mine. Lastly, I'm not privy to that information is a formal way of saying you don't have access to certain information. If someone asked you about confidential details at work, you might respond with, I'm not privy to that information. So there you have it, a dozen ways to say I don't know in different situations. From I have no idea to I'm not privy to that information. These phrases can help you navigate conversations when you're unsure or lacking information. Remember, it's okay not to know everything. After all, we're all lifelong learners, aren't we?